Greetings, Flesh Wound Horror freaks, and welcome to Flesh Wound Horror Live. I am Flesh Wound Dan, joined by producer Todd.
Good evening.
And Mike Kruger.
Welcome to prime time, bitch.
There we go. We don't have our names. You threw me off there a little bit, Todd. I was like, wait, are we live?
You know why? Because I took him down when we were streaming the return match of one Michael Kruger.
Yes. Okay.
Whoops.
I was like, whoa, wait a minute. Well, but we are live. You hear us. You see us, I assume. So that's...
Yeah,
that's
Dan, they can hear and see us. Don't worry.
This is a good thing. It's good that you can see and hear us.
I know
But,
Dan's slowly trying to check if it's working, and you could tell it in his voice. So
I am. Well, long time.
Your producer already said you were good. Quit being a pain.
I'm checking. Well, anyways, yes. So we're back on Wednesday. We've had a weird schedule lately. We haven't had our traditional Wednesday show in a couple weeks. So, yeah, good to be back. Good to be back. Speaking of being back, drum roll.
Are you trying to Are you trying to cue me to play the clip? Is that what you're doing?
Yes, Todd.
So.
Well, I was gonna let Kruger cue the clip because he
Okay.
sent me 3.
I was gonna say.
All I know is I
values here,
The-
Todd.
Do the second and then the first one, Todd.
Okay, well, one of them I wish happened to Dan. Let's see the first one.
Yeah, it was nice to do a German suplex again. It's been a while, but
Dan's
yeah.
crying watching it.
and you could just play the second one now.
All right, here we go.
Yeah, so after 4 years, I finally got my revenge on Terex for fucking moonsaulting my knee into oblivion. But yeah, it was really cool to be back in the ring. My match got switched around a couple of times, so I was a little nervous and kind of fucking stressed the fuck out about it. But once I got out there, everything kind of clicked. Just felt like I fucking had never left wrestling, and I'm in so much better shape than I was the last time I was wrestling too. That once I got my groove going, everything was cool. Yeah, just thanks to Crimson Crown Wrestling for letting me come home, and we'll see what the future holds in the next couple of months. I don't know how long I'm gonna stick around in wrestling, but I think I at least got another couple years left in me. So hopefully we get to make some fun memories. I spilled a lot of blood, my own and other people's, and yeah, it'll be fun. So and as I journey back into this venture of wrestling, I'm taking all you motherfuckers on the ride with me. So there's going to be some exclusive content coming out pretty soon into our Patreon. I'm kind of working on editing a few things right now for not really even a documentary, just a video vlog thing that documents my day up until my return match, and then my thoughts afterwards and stuff like that. And we'll make it look cool and pretty. And yeah, so stay tuned for that. And just thanks for all the support. It's been really, really cool to see that a lot of people are psyched that I'm back doing this fucking stupid bullshit. And yeah, that's really all I got. Just thanks you guys fucking for tuning in to our Patreon too. We did live stream the show when I returned, so that was I think we teased it either last week or the week before, but that was the little exclusive special thing we had. So if that doesn't entice you to subscribe to our Patreon, I don't know what will, but stay tuned for more of that. Patreon.com/fleshwoundfeatures. You'll get now not necessarily, I'm not going to go too behind the scenes, but you'll be getting exclusive Michael Kruger wrestling content under there as well. So
And we should say that the current version will be replaced probably as soon as we're done with a higher quality version of your match.
Yeah, so that'll be cool.
Yeah.
WrestleMania 40, Mike Kruger versus
And,
primetime DJ Shaq.
Oh my God!
He had to somehow try to get himself over it. It just ruined it.
No, he did. I mean, it's Dan. He always needs to get himself over.
Just remember, Dan.
I have a count.
That's all you get.
I hit harder than him. Come on.
So now we can tell him that. Okay, sweet. Thank you, Dan.
I'm gonna tell Clint Margera that shit next time I see him.
You got a slap fight lined up. You're gonna take the.
I didn't
the gusset back.
Slap.
We don't care about consent there.
No slap.
Jesus.
All right. Hardcore Hillbilly's going to be busy at California anyways, so there we go. All right, gentlemen, thank you for and congratulations, Kruger. That was awesome. Awesome release on that German. Crowd loves it. What's up, Swaggy, Chris, Ben, Popetheus, everybody? Good to see you in the chat, and we'll get right into it because I'm going to just tell you guys the first one I have a passionate response to. Not saying whether it's good or bad.
Surprise! It's a Blumhouse movie.
Maybe I love it. You don't know. Don't assume. All right. So
I just said it was a Blumhouse movie.
It is a Blumhouse movie. All right. So from Blumhouse and director Yoko Okumura, we have Unseen. Not to be confused with the 80s movie. So Sam receives a call from Emily, a nearly blind woman who is running from her murderous ex in the woods. She must survive the ordeal with Sam being her eyes using the video call feature. Oh my God. All right. So I'm going to say this, any genre, not just horror. I'm going to open this up to any genre. Top 10 dumbest fucking endings of all time. I'm not going to give it away directly, but it is so unbelievably stupid. If I told you right now, it wouldn't do it justice. This movie is typical Blumhouse. It's an MGM Plus original, by the way. It tries to balance humor and horror, and it fails miserably at both. I like our lead actress, Jolene Purdy, who plays Sam, well enough. But other than that, this thing is an endurance test. This is almost as bad as Black Christmas. Different, not the exact same type of movie, not, as annoying maybe as that movie is. But in terms of quality, this is maybe the worst thing I've seen this year so far. It is deadly dumb from beginning to end. There's no tension in the suspense. It's always broken up by some inane joke or attempt at, social commentary that is just, again, I'm guessing maybe that's what they were going for at the end, but man, is it stupid. Didn't care about our killer. Any of the stock sequences don't work. It's basically just ripping off C for Me, which I believe was also on Shudder. It just takes that premise. If you want this sort of premise,
way better movie.
Yeah, better movie. That one at least had something going for it. The balance of tones in this movie is just dog shit. I don't know who would like it. I really don't. I really don't. But I'm sure maybe I'm wrong. But I can't think of a single thing that this does well. There's some good actors in it, whatever. But there's no reason to watch this. I didn't buy that anybody was a real person in this movie. Didn't laugh. Never. I was just waiting for it to end. Miserable fucking experience. Fuck Blumhouse. Fuck Bloom. Kruger, did you love it?
Well, no, definitely not. But I did like the concept. Like, it does totally rip off C for Me, but with C for me, that was like a home robbery situation where, you know, the blind chick was trying to figure out a way out of it. For this one, I thought, you know, that concept with a killer chasing somebody would be really, really cool. And I did like the acting and the actresses that were like the two main actresses. What was the girl in the convenience store's name? I can't fucking remember, but I thought she was actually really good.
And probably Sam, Jolene Purdy is the actress.
Yeah, I thought she did a really good job and was probably the best thing about the movie. But I agree with basically everything you said. The themes are kind of all over the place. It doesn't really know what the hell it wants to be. And like sometimes it's just trying to be funny. Sometimes it's trying to, like, I don't know. Did you guys get like an anti-gun message in there? I felt the slight one.
Yeah, I can see that.
And like I don't know, it just didn't work for me. At first I was invested just because of the concept, but then as time went on, things just got dumber and dumber and dumber. And by the end of the movie, I was really checked out. And I do agree, the ending was really fucking stupid, and it kind of felt like a slap to my face at the end. But unfortunately, I can see people liking this at least a little bit for the concept alone. But what I will say is, if the concept interests you, just go watch C for me.
Yeah. Todd, did you like this?
No, it was a waste of time. I didn't hate it. I didn't feel offended by it. I don't think it's Black Christmas bad, but it's not good. I'll never watch it again. So
yeah, I mean, I think they were going for like some sort of, I mean, they thought they were being clever with, let's just say, the cop stuff. Maybe at the end it was so dumb, so you know, just so unrealistic. That, not the last scene, but I guess the, you know, right before in the finale, it was just, I knew kind of going in, I was like, okay, C for me exists. Sure can, Chris. He can punch the shit out of the moon.
But you get beat up by the Mac Tonight logo.
Yeah,
that's a dated one.
This is a very 2023 movie, and I mean that in a bad way. Like, this is a very, like, this is the type of shit that people bitch on the internet about. If this came out in theaters, the shitting would be relentless.
It does very much feel like a shitty, like, streaming service Blumhouse movie, though.
Yeah,
I could have saw this shit on like Into the Dark or something like that.
This is the sort of shit that's responsible for killing Into the Dark, in my opinion.
Well, there was one comment that he made that's when everything went to shit.
Yeah.
Should have kept his mouth shut.
We do have some really good stuff tonight, some good shit. But
you want to hear something funny today? You know what your favorite person said today? Hold on, I'm going to pull
my favorite person.
Yeah, look, there you go, Jason Blum. He said the Blumhouse flowers are not related to the upcoming news. I just thought it was funny. He said it the right way, I guess, for once, right, Dan?
He's trying to like seek my approval, but if he keeps shitting out stuff like Unseen, I'm sorry, I can't. You will forever be Bloom.
Hold on, I got to pause because Ben Grimm, you pointed something out. So Primetime says he slaps harder than Hillbilly.
Was that Hillbilly in the ring with Kruger? No.
But no. Didn't Dan say he hits harder than any guy? So, and you said no, but Primetime DJ Shine does. So there we go. Primetime DJ Shine needs to show up for the slap fight. Don't say that pussy flesh with Dan.
So what does Primetime DJ Shine look like? Do you like wear a hat backwards?
Yes.
A big chain?
If I could ever, that's pre-hat. If I could ever find some of my training and backyard stuff, you could see. Not the training, really.
God, please do it. We need some
Todd, you need to just like make this match happen. Fucking Flesh Wound Features sponsored UEW match. Michael Kruger versus Dan in a fucking, I don't know. We could come up with some horror podcasting gimmick. Fucking.
Hey, I'm looking for a reason to book Homeless Jimmy versus Mr. California in a shoot fight. We'll make $1 billion on that in California.
Dude, no bullshit. Yeah.
Oh, anyways, he's negotiating with AEW and WWE right now. He's really busy, but I'm sure he'll get
Slasher video says he wears neon streamers. I can see that. Very macho. I think that's got a little bit of Macho Dad in there.
I couldn't even really like set it. I mean, I had long hair at that point, so I really didn't look like the same person.
Dad,
no beard.
Oh man. I can
at the very least we can make a cinematic match happen.
Oh no, fucking Slasher home video. He said just the streamers, butt naked otherwise. I'm not fucking wrestling them then.
This is
I ain't about that fucking life.
We'll see. He's in negotiations right now. You know.
Okay, well, Hillbilly's gonna be ready.
We're talking about way more interesting things.
So we should probably rate
Let's
this.
rate this. Yeah.
Unseen, I give it an enthusiastic 0. This movie is dog shit.
I give it a 1 out of 5.
Yeah, it was in focus. I can't give it a 0, so I'm a 1.
I wish it weren't. All right, so you gave it a pity 1, Todd. I'm disappointed.
I'm sure you've had a pity 1 or 2.
All right, so you'd be surprised.
That was fucking so mean.
Damn.
I guess I'm a little salty tonight.
All right, you mean bastard. Let's move on to our Shudder original, and let's see if we can right the wrong that was the last movie. So this one is Leave, which is from director Alex Herron, and this one follows a young woman tries to find her origins after having been abandoned as an infant at a cemetery wrapped in a cloth with satanic symbols. But as she gets closer to answers, a malevolent spirit is telling her to leave. See, tied in the title. That's clever. Is the movie clever, though? Let's see. And it's also a Norwegian movie or co-production. Yeah. What say you, Kruger?
Well, the concept, like reading the description alone is what made me like instantly want to watch this movie just because it sounded cool. I love satanic shit. And I like the mystery going on where you kind of wondering, is this black metal band involved in like why this kid got left at a cemetery, and what her uncovering like who her parents were, I thought was just a really interesting story. And then it kind of takes a swerve and you get I mean, it's kind of predictable in one way, but in another, like when you look at the movie as a whole, you're kind of expecting one thing and it gives you something completely different, which I liked. My only complaint about the movie is at the end, there's a scene that I think could have used a little bit of gore. I think it would have been really effective, especially with what was happening to this despicable character. Yeah, I think you kind of needed in order to, fully satisfy the horror fan in me. But as a whole, this was a good little mystery. Also, the shooting location in Norway, absolutely fucking beautiful. Like, there were some amazing shots in this movie, and whoever was the cinematographer really like outdid themselves. So, yeah, it's definitely one of the better Shudder movies I've watched from this year so far, and I would recommend it. Again, just my only criticism is if I would have had like a face smashing scene, irreversible style at the end, it would have got a higher rating for me.
Okay. Todd, I can't remember. Did you see this one? You did? No.
I did not.
Okay. All right. That's okay. You're lucky.
Okay, there's Dan's opinion.
No, I will elaborate. So, cool opening. I thought, the acting's good. It's competently shot once again, for whatever that means anymore. I mean, it's on Shudder. Most stuff on Shudder is competently shot. So it's a good setup. This baby wrapped in this satanic sheet with all these symbols. I'm like, oh, okay. Well, this could go a lot of different directions, and I'm definitely down for it. the problem with this one, number one, that I think this didn't really piss me off so much, but I think if you're like a black metal fan, because there's a subplot with a black metal band that kind of ties into the baby, there is no black metal music in this movie, unless I missed it. And there's like some,
in the club,
maybe for 2 seconds in the club.
Yeah, but I mean, it was, but the black metal thing wasn't like the theme of the movie.
No, it's not the theme, but I don't know. They kind of set that up. It's a dull movie. I think there's 0 scares in this one, and I was surprised.
No, definitely not scary at all.
Yeah, the beginning was interesting. This is one of these movies where you're just so far ahead of the plot that it's impossible for any suspense to even hit. Really weak, again, on the horror element. What they kind of set up at the beginning is not really what you get or what this movie is. It's I guess maybe a mildly creepy mystery without much of a mystery. I mean, again, there's no surprises here. It's a slog. I mean, we just like, all right, we break into this house, we leave, we break back in, we leave. Again, it fits. I guess it fits with the title, but I kept thinking like, okay, this one's surely going to get better. We'll get a good finale. There's a lot, quite frankly, about this plot that makes no sense when you really think about it and break it down. I don't think we'll bother with spoilers on this one, but don't think too hard because it's a mystery that jettisons all the horror elements. So it's, you know.
I don't know why. I thought you were going to like this one. I thought the paranormal stuff would have did it for you.
I was hoping that I would, but yeah, a couple of like throwaway dream sequences. That's the only thing that would even be creepy in theory that happened in this movie. There's a lot I could pick at that. Again, it's plot stuff. I won't spoil it, but you watch this one. It's not the type of movie where it's just a popcorn flick and you can overlook it and just turn your brain off. It's played serious. It should make sense, and it doesn't. It's a very conventional, been there, done that. Obviously, there's something more mysterious going on with the family when she gets to Norway, and nothing really happens in this movie. Nothing. I mean, I was surprised. It's one of the weaker ones on Shudder that I've seen in a while.
I'm honestly shocked because usually, like when it comes to stuff like movies like this that are more tame in the horror elements, you're like, as long as the story's halfway decent. I mean, you usually are fans of them. I don't know, for whatever reason,
story's not good. Yeah, I agree.
I thought it was intriguing enough. I mean, it kept me invested until the end, but.
Yeah, I don't know. It was kind of a road to nowhere for me. And there's little stuff. I thought the lead actress, you could tell there was still an accent there, even though she grew up in America, so it doesn't quite make sense. There's a lot of little things. There's not a single character that I found interesting in the entire movie. You
didn't like the villainous cousin or whatever?
He was fine, but again, not a big part of the movie. And I mean, the actor's fine. I'm not really shitting on any particular actor. I thought potentially the female band member, I thought she could have been interesting, but it's kind of a nothing character. I mean, it doesn't really factor into anything. Yeah, this is another slog, another bad streaming movie. Not as bad or as obnoxious as Unseen, but it's not good. There's no reason you need to watch this one. There's so much better stuff right now on Shudder. And a Norwegian movie too. Like usually I kind of expect more, but no, this is another turd. You dodged a bullet, Todd.
All right. Well,
let's rate it then.
All right. I'm a 1. That's as high as I can go. You have better options, no matter who you are.
I was tossed up between the 2.5 and the 3. I think for my first time watch and like everything, like I don't necessarily think I'd ever watch this movie again, but for what it was, killed like an hour and 40 minutes. I didn't think it was terrible, so I'm gonna go with the 3.
Oh, all right, cool. I did not expect that. All right, so damn, will we break the streak with the next one?
What's next?
The next one is our Kaiju film, The Lake Kaiju film. So I'm gonna go first. I'm curious, but this is from co-directors Lee Thonkum and Aking Zhu. And in The Lake, one child brought back a strange egg and then realized it was a monster egg. It emerged from the lake and kill everyone in the whole town. Obviously, okay, this was maybe English, not the first.
Yeah, I was gonna say this sounds fucking hilarious.
Here's a better one. A gigantic and bloodthirsty monster emerges from the lake after its egg is stolen and unleashes its fury on a town's inhabitants, leaving a trail of destruction and death in its wake. The town of Wengkan, now cut off from the outside world, must mobilize its officials and citizens, as well as a group of scientists that are in town conducting research to catch this predator before it's too late. There you go. Put some more emotion into that one. So, Kruger, we were excited for this one. Did it live up to your expectations?
Well, yeah, I mean, I've been really, really hyped for this thing for a really long time because of all the practical effects and the fact that you had almost this Jurassic Park style animatronic kaiju coming into play. Like, I was really, really hyped for this thing. And I'll say the opening scene of the movie I thought was really, really good, set the tone well, and then the movie fucking continued, and I was severely disappointed for like probably up until we get to the animatronic effects. There's like almost an hour stretch in there where I just thought the decisions the story was making, or like the decisions in the story that were made when it came to like the creature, because there's not just a giant monster in here, there's like a human-sized creature too, and they have this weird lore that like because the creature bit somebody, if the creature dies, that person all of a sudden dies, and I just thought it was really stupid. It was also plagued with these scenes where like the creature was attacking people, but they put this lame filter over it, and just like the camera was so shaky you couldn't really even tell what the fuck was going on, and it was kind of jarring and just annoying. And eventually we get our giant monster, and all the scenes with it are fucking really, really cool, but the story just does nothing for me. And like there's not a single character in here that I really enjoyed. I wasn't a fan of the little girl and the way she tied into everything, and like at some point she almost like it's like they're kind of playing her off like she's being evil too. I was really, really disappointed. But one thing I have to say, the effects are fucking great, and it's really cool to get giant monsters that are practical like that again. But the story and just everything about the execution of the movie is not very good. Maybe my expectations were too high. I don't know, but I was so bored at times, or just so annoyed. I had to watch this thing like in like 30-minute increments, because I was just like, are you fucking kidding me, man? Also, the ending. You want to talk about fucking shit endings?
Yeah, and good luck.
Holy shit, dude. I was so pissed off at that fucking end.
You better be good with that ending.
Yeah.
Yeah, this one, I hate shitting on an obviously lower budget kaiju movie. I couldn't even imagine making one on without a 7-figure budget at least. And it's there's a lot of emotional moments in this film. There's a lot of melodrama, but you don't really care about most of these characters. You can't really place them. None of the moments are really earned. It's a lot of melodrama. Now, I know a lot of people will, and I get this, like, well, yeah, Godzilla was more about the human interaction than anything else. Yes,
yeah, but it was good.
It was good. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It was good. In
Dude.
this, the action, the bad editing on the action, man, tons of just shaky cam and monster POV where with our smaller monster, where I was not engaged with that at all.
Either.
I mean, there's all the basic cliches of this type of movie, which again, normally fine, but when it's not good, it's not good.
This is my reaction every time I see shaky can and rain and the other ones. I get just so annoyed. But see, you guys get distracted by a good movie, so this is what I see every time. It gets annoying real quick.
Yeah, there's a lot of shots when they're in these trees. I can't even tell what's going on, and there's some practical effects and everything. So it's a shame, but it's just really poorly paced. It just made me want to go and watch The Host.
Yeah,
honestly, to see it done right.
Yeah. And the Host, unfortunately, doesn't have any practical effects. Like if they had the practical effects they had for this movie, and then the story of The Host, that would have been like the fucking greatest kaiju movie of all time.
Yeah, and really, our giant kaiju in this really doesn't do shit. I mean, looks good, doesn't do shit. We're just stuck with the the man in the suit mini monster, and I never felt any real danger in this movie. That's a huge problem with the kaiju. And we get the lame Jurassic Park callbacks. Like, there's shots straight out of Jurassic Park.
Oh yeah, they were obviously Jurassic Park fans.
Yeah, they were definitely Jurassic Park fans from the monster, like looking into the car, but the monster doesn't do anything. Like, it's just
he rips a car door off and fucking then he falls into some fucking electrical wire and eats shit, and that's about it.
I mean, you could rip a car door off. I mean, a giant fucking kaiju, I'm kind of expecting him to fling cars into buildings.
I think my biggest complaint is that this should like with the effects that they had, and honestly, the CG. Very well done, I thought. When they would transition between CG and practical, I thought it looked really good. But that's what the movie's strong suits were. They should have just did a basic kaiju rampaging through a village, killing some people, seeing the fucking aftermath of it. Like, they should have went by the books on this one, is basically what I'm trying to say. Because I think with all the drama and all the weird shit with the smaller monster and the way it connects to people, I thought all of that was garbage. Also, they had way too many fucking slow motion shots in this movie. I swear to God, it felt like every 10 minutes there was like just people being over dramatic and then fucking everything going into slow motion for a couple of minutes at a time. And I was so over that shit, man. This is really, really disappointing because I've been looking forward to this movie for like 3 years now.
Yeah, I was going to say, we've been talking about this a long time. I think we did it on a trailer reaction ages ago. Man, it's coming out on Blu-ray if you want to see for yourself. It's not the worst kaiju movie ever made, but it's near the bottom of the list for me.
Ben says, the monster looked cool at the start.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
I don't know that you would be laughing at this one. I'm sorry, I can't read your name, but I don't think you'd be laughing. It's definitely not dumb fun.
Yeah, no, it's like it's just. It takes itself way too seriously, I feel like, too.
And I'll say on the panel, I love bad movies probably more than anyone. Yeah. And there's not even like the fun factor in this one.
No.
Unfortunately.
No, there really isn't. I was really disappointed. I figured it's a safe bet. Giant monster movie, you're going to have some fun, but I just didn't. Everything sucks tonight. It's not just the American movies.
No, dude, we got like a shit week.
This is like just the world as a whole just took a shit. But we're not done yet. I will say there are movies, or at least a movie that I loved this week.
Well, Dan giving it away, so eventually it gets better. I'm curious which one. I know at least.
I mean, I feel like it's the fucking one I didn't get to see, of course, too. Like,
well, I was maybe.
I think there'll be more than one.
There might be more than one. We'll see. All right, so with a title like this, surely this is going to break the 0-3 streak. So
Wait, we need to rate this.
Oh, fuck. We didn't rate it. Sorry. God, I'm off today. Man, I didn't like it at all. I'd never watch it again. I'm a half a star.
God damn.
I like it. Yeah. Just because the monster looked good, but it didn't do anything. Sorry.
For the practical effects and everything, I can't give it anything less than a 2, but it's not very good. I may rewatch this eventually down the line just to fucking, see if my opinion changes or if I could get over some of the things I hate. But unfortunately, this is probably the biggest disappointment to the kaiju community in a really fucking long time. Actually, you could quote this: the biggest disappointment to the kaiju community since Zillafoot. There you go.
You really hate that one. I don't think I've watched.
Zillafoot is the biggest piece of fucking dog shit I've ever seen in my goddamn life, dude. I hate that thing so goddamn much. It's just it's really bad because it was an unfinished movie, and then fucking the SRS guy had a bunch of YouTubers sending clips, and he just incoherently like throws them in there. It's fucking awful.
Oh, so you paid probably 30.
I paid $20 for it, and I was furious.
I will let you guys know. Let's see. This is their second shot. It hasn't happened till now. I placed an order from SRS Cinema.
Oh,
let's see. Because remember, I was like, I'm not fucked it. After I got that shitty movie with the hot tub movie with no hot tub titties, I was upset. And you knew the director. You're like, yeah, it's not gonna happen.
Bangin' Vengeance or something. Yeah, it was a killer titty movie that had no boobs.
No, it wasn't that. It was a hot tub movie. I still have it somewhere.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
By the way, you need to rate this one, Todd.
No, do I really need to? I'm a 1.
Okay.
All right. Yeah. No. SRS, did you order Little Corey Gory? It's kind of
I did not. I ordered Ed Gein the musical. And the Savage Vengeance remake.
I need to actually place an order with them because there's a couple of new kaiju stuff, and it's not Western, it's Japanese kaiju movies. And I think they have Space Monster Wagami on there too, which is a lost Korean kaiju movie. Need to place an order.
Yeah, they have some good stuff.
Still, the best thing they've done is Howl from Beyond the Fog, just distributing that because I thought that was just awesome.
Yeah, Howl from Beyond the Fog. Yeah, it's a short it
was like a half hour. Yeah.
Slash from Video says good practicals are worth a star. Dan, I agree.
It's worth a half star, Chris. I'm in a bad mood. I watched a Blumhouse movie. I watched, it's like the kaiju didn't come through for me. This is a bad week for primetime, man.
Well, let's see if you get some pleasure in the shitter.
Now my cam's not working. Yes. Holy shit. My dog. I'm just waiting for him to shut up. Shut up.
He doesn't like primetime DJ Shine either.
Yeah.
Well, I even say his name and hear him go.
He's over him trying to get himself over.
Yeah. I can't remember who it was, but if you're listening now, I'm sorry. Because I remember that I got a comment on one because Dan's dogs just started barking.
Oh yeah, he scared the shit out of me. I saw that. Yeah. Well, dude, it's happened to me too. Where I'll be watching our podcast back, or just be chilling here. Then out of nowhere, I'll fucking have a mini heart attack.
Here's my problem right now. Until he shuts up. So my cat found a way to climb. You see those 8x10s?
Yeah.
They found a way to climb. My cat was halfway up that back wall, climbing on top of the fucking 8x10s. I see it. I'm like, God damn. It's like I've got in my peripherals, it's like because I'm watching TV, and it's like somebody's spider walking on the goddamn ceiling. What's going on right now? And got up to the top and ripped down one of the blinds. So I got to replace it. So
that's why the dog's barking.
He sees Lovecraft outside, and Quark doesn't like Lovecraft. So, all right. So
no one does. It's walk wrong way.
Enough of my shit. Let's talk holy shit, which is from a Screambox original, I should say, and it is a German film, I believe. Yeah, German film. From director,
gave it away.
writer director Lucas Rinker. That's offensive, Todd. I'm going to cancel you.
Oh, sorry.
So
says the guy who
one-
loves to eat ass.
Don't make me get into
I
that.
thought I was going to kill Kruger on that when he kept it together.
So, holy shit. Architect Frank wakes up from unconsciousness, squashed in a porta potty. But it gets worse. In order not to be blown up during the imminent demolition, Frank must make his way out of his blue grave in 1 hour. A race against time. All right, so this is a Screambox original, and thank God I liked it a lot. This one's a ton of fun. So in terms of tone, I guess we call this one a horror comedy, but it doesn't skimp on the gore. And it's serious enough. Like this one knows how to balance the tone. Actually, there's some like insane gore.
Yeah, like this movie made me cringe a couple of times, and like I think just the scenario and like knowing how that would feel coming out of your elbow, like fuck, dude, at the end.
So I don't know what you call that. Not a pipe, but like
it's a metal rod, basically.
Rod. There you go. I don't know. I can. So his arm is very graphically impaled in this metal rod. Extremely uncomfortable looking gore straight off the bat. What made it even worse is the fact that he is in a porta potty.
Yeah, so there's shit everywhere.
That's what was like kind of getting me. I'm like, this guy's flayed open, and I wouldn't call this like an extreme horror movie per se, because it does have the humor to kind of balance out the gory macabre elements, but when he had to reach into the I don't want to give too much away, but and obviously there's he's kind of unraveling in his head how he ended up in there. You get some flashbacks to reveal all that, so there is a storyline. It's not just him trying to escape the porta potty. There is more going on. There's this area that's getting ready for demolition to make room for a luxury hotel, and that kind of all factors into it. He's worked on the project, and the plot slowly unravels. At first I kind of it's like, okay, we get this Saw type setup. I wasn't too sure where it would go. The opening's pretty funny because we get this like stripper, this really hot stripper doing this little routine, and then we open, all of a sudden she turns into like just a picture on the stall door with this God knows what leaking on the guy's head. So it gets your attention straight off the bat. It's very hard to make these one location movies like that work. I mean, the 95% of it is in the stall with just him, hallucinating at times, but pretty much just all him in the porta potty. And this has, like I said, again, some absolutely off the charts gore that did a really good job of surprising you and catching you off guard. I needed this movie desperately, because I think I almost watched them more or less in the order that we're covering them tonight, and I was impressed. Screambox gets the win over Shudder tonight. This one, nobody's really talking about it, and I think you should take the ride. I think you'll enjoy it. And like I said, even the ridiculousness of the situation and some of the gore, which is, granted, over the top, it's still a solid enough human story of a workaholic kind of regretting that and what he thinks may be his final hours. We'll see if he makes it out or not. Kruger, what did you think? Because I was surprised. This one entertained the hell out of me. It was a lot.
This was a good time, man. I saw the trailer a while back, and I've been really looking forward to checking out, but I was not expecting that type of gore. Like, not even just the gore that we talked about. There's some stuff at the very end that like had me screaming like out. I was like, holy shit, they're really going there. Now I don't want to sway people and tell them like this whole thing is gore packed from start to finish. But
No.
when it hits heavy and hits hard. And I like the comedy and just like the comedy of the situation of being like having to die in a shitter is already funny enough. And I like the character. The dialogue I thought was really great. We got some nice twists and turns that I wasn't expecting. And I also liked the way they kept you guessing, like, how the fuck did this guy end up in this situation? And yeah, just overall, this is a great time. High recommendation for me, and definitely check it out if you're a gorehound.
Yeah, there's some gems on Screambox, so if you haven't subbed to it yet, you definitely should. I think it's been worth the money for me. They don't get the same like volume of brand new like originals that Shudder gets, but you know,
they're getting there.
They're getting there. If they keep shelling out stuff like this, I'm in.
Oh yeah, they're aggressively going after Shudder. You could see it, so I'm loving it.
I mean, to be fair, dude, like they Screambox, I think last year definitely beat Shudder with all the stuff that they had. You know, they had. You have to think they had Terrifier 2 on there as well.
Yeah, that was a big one. I think I'm still going Shudder for now, but this year so far, I mean, I don't know.
They make more Dan movies. Screambox definitely makes more than just like the one type of movie.
Screambox will do some like much lower budget stuff. Not that Shudder doesn't, but yeah, I mean it is a little different. It's worth having both, to be honest.
Yeah,
I watch more on those two services than I do on Netflix. So
me too. Yeah, I mean it's just fun to get look forward to getting new movies every week that you know for a fact you wouldn't have heard of if you didn't have the streaming service.
Exactly.
Yeah, they're both very important. So if you're going to sub to something, support horror, and you know, they're cheaper than that. You can have them both, and they're still cheaper.
And the thing I like about Screambox is that they have like a lot like those live stations too, and they have a lot more than Shudder does.
Yeah, definitely.
Right. Slash on video. No creep show is hurting Shudder for me.
Yeah, I agree, dude. That's probably my favorite TV show going on in today right now. So
honestly, if they lose Joe Bob, that could really factor in on a lot of people's.
Yeah, for sure.
I've heard rumors that he's not going to go much longer. Now, I don't know what that means. Maybe a few years, maybe.
I mean, he's old as fuck, and they're at season 5 now, dude.
Yeah. That would be a huge blow because I know that's like their most buzzworthy thing. But you do have the new slasher season, which I know you're a fan of, Kruger.
So hyped, dude.
Now that's this week, right?
Yep. Yeah, I think tomorrow.
Thursday? Yeah, okay.
And for all of you out there, slasher, you can jump in at any point. The seasons aren't connected, so
yeah,
if you need a new horror series to stream. All right, next up, these are 2 shorts, and we'll get into. We'll take them one at a time, but I'm sure they'll bleed together a little bit. So our first one from
we should mention though, if you haven't seen Outwaters, there will be some open spoilers, which I did finally just watch for my first time. So
cool. Okay.
So definitely watch the Outwaters first, or watch, like in my opinion, watch the prequel, watch the Outwaters, and then watch the other stuff. What is it? What the fuck was the other one called?
File VL624.
Yeah, so do Outwaters tape 0, I think it's called. Then Card 0, then do the Outwaters, then do that. In my opinion, that's probably the best way to watch everything.
Okay. So before we get started, I mean, not a review because I know we reviewed it, but did you like Outwaters?
Yeah, I don't get the comparison to Skinamarink at all, but whichever one was doing. Yeah, I did. It was found footage. I was cool with it. I mean, I don't think it's like my favorite thing of the year or anything.
I thought the flashlight stuff at the end and like how shaky it was going to drive you nuts.
No, I'm not one who gets affected by the shaky stuff, really.
Okay.
So, but no, yeah, I did. Because I like that last one that you really didn't like. I think the last Blumhouse one Dan liked.
I can't even fucking remember.
Dash Cam?
Oh, yeah.
My issue with Outwaters is it just felt like the entire, like, we had like 40, 50 minutes, whatever it was, with those characters, and I didn't know a single goddamn one of them in the movie, talking the movie itself. Like, it was just a slog. I had a good theatrical I didn't love the movie, obviously, if you go back, but I did have a good theatrical experience based on the fact that it's always funny when somebody gets traumatized and walks out. There was no walkout with the movie this week, but there was, like, I'll get to it later. I do have a movie experience thing later, but all right. So getting into these, so Outwaters Card Zero is a prequel, and this follows before Robbie Zagorak went missing in the Mojave Desert. He captured love, life, and heartbreak in a video diary. So that's essentially the plot. Like, you can't really spoil these shorts. I know he shot these after the fact, because I know some people had asked, like, was this just like deleted scenes that they cobbled together? No, from what I understand, he shot these after for the Blu-ray, and Screambox put them up as originals on Screambox once again. And yeah, this is basically a short love story between Robbie and his boyfriend. And Kruger, what did you think? Because I think you liked the Outwaters a lot more than I did. So you might have.
No, we were about on the same, I think.
Same. Okay. I already
I mean, I really liked it, but I didn't think it was, phenomenal or anything. But so to be honest with you, man, and I kind of have the same opinion on both of these shorts. They don't really do much. I mean, you kind of get a little bit more of a backstory to what's happening in the Outwaters.
I know Robbie better than they did in the first 50 minutes of the movie.
Yeah,
I give it that.
No, for sure. But at the end of this one, they kind of let you know, like, why whatever happened in the Outwaters happened. But yeah, I don't know. I was kind of fucking bored, to be honest with you. And there wasn't a lot of crazy shit happening. It was just more of like, Robbie's love life and who he is as a person and how he met, or how him and that chick decided to go out in the middle of the desert and do their music video. That's about it. If this was a part of the Outwaters, I think it would have been more effective, to be honest with you, because again, you would just know the characters more, know their relationships and stuff better. But watching it after the fact, I was just like, oh, okay, well, that kind of just fucking didn't tell me much other than, oh, this is why that happened then, and that's it. No explanation on what happened to them, but this is why.
Yeah, they're very like I said, they are shorts, and they are kind of like more extra features. Like, we're not rating them per se, because they're not like a whole story. They're just like tie-ins. So if you like Outwaters, I will say I think Card Zero, at least, it is a good. If you haven't watched any of them, I agree. Watch Card Zero first. It's not going to spoil anything. Outwaters is not a movie that's exactly known for its plot. There's not a whole lot going on there. In fact, I may have said this in my review. I may not have, but Outwaters probably would have worked a lot better as a short itself. Like, I don't think you could have cut that one down huge. That first 40 or 50 minutes was.
Yeah, it took forever for stuff to get going, but when it does, it's fun, and it gets a pretty bad shit, but it just took fucking forever. And again, like you said, you don't really know the characters either. It's just kind of like, okay, they're drinking, they're partying.
And there's zero excuse for not knowing your characters when you're 50 minutes into a story.
Yeah.
That zero excuse. You need to do a better job of establishing them. The craziness at the end, like I said, that was kind of, reasonably fun. It was cool seeing a girl burst into tears and storm out. Always love that. I don't know.
Take the cock trauma.
Again, Dan's experienced that too.
Yes. Fuck you, Todd. Well, yeah, it's a little bit, you're a little uncomfortable with the genital sequence in that first movie, but I mean, I guess if you like it, this is a thumbs up. You get to know Robbie a little bit more. Yeah. So the second short, which is the epilogue, and this one's longer. This one's 34 minutes. The Outwaters, or no, wait, I might have had that mixed up. The last one's shorter. Yeah. Sorry.
The last one's like 20. The first one's like 34 or some shit like that.
All right. Yeah. Last one's just 20 minutes. The Outwaters, file VL-624. And in this one, same director. This one shows corrupted footage salvaged from Robbie's camera, property of the Mojave Police Department. This one I don't think really gave me anything else, if I'm being honest. No. Like, it's just pretty much more the same from the movie. This adds absolutely nothing new, unless I missed it. Maybe I'm dumb. Maybe there's some
I agree
in it all.
I agree. Like I didn't get much out of it. It just, and like I was hoping what this was going to do is help piece together the puzzles of like what the fuck was happening at the end of the Outwaters, because it it jumps around kind of back and forth, and no, it was just like more of this like semi creepy shit. Still no explanation on what the fuck is going on. And by the end of it, I was just like, okay, that happened. But I would have been fine with not even watching it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hashtag more dong, Ben. Hashtag more dong.
Yeah. I mean, dude, I would have been excited if I would have got more severed dong, but it was just like, it was more fucking shots of the shit that we got in the Outwaters, basically. I mean,
yeah. I'm like, oh, nice. We're seeing these fucking animals again. It's like, this felt like it was just shit that they shot and edited out. Like this one, really, that's what it was like. I was like, man, they're just trying to get us to watch more because there's nothing to this.
I was kind of pissed off we didn't get to see any more of like, remember the creature at the end of the Outwaters, like towards the end?
You mean like the thick crawly things?
No. I'm talking the big thing that was like heavy and shit. I was hoping fucking we would have got another shot of that or explain what the fuck that even was, but nope.
Sometimes it's okay to just make a short, but you know what? Hey, I'll say this again, and say what you will about this, Skinamarink. Once again, who would have thought these movies would actually make any kind of a dent at the box office? So they are a part of an interesting story. I feel like I'm good on Outwaters. I don't think I'll ever have to watch Outwaters again.
I would watch it again, but not like it would have to be like with a group of people just to see him freak out about the severed dick at the end.
Yeah, I don't know. Just
show him the last XPW show.
Yes,
I mean, I already fucking showed a bunch of people when that happened. Like, I showed up to training. I was like, "Hey, kids, you want to see what spot we're working on today?"
So, which one said they take it?
they both looked at me like I was a lunatic.
Oh man! Well, we won't be airing that clip for you, but you have to go to Stream XPW if you want to see some. Yeah.
Some shit mutilation.
Oh,
it's rated R, children, not for children. I can't remember what I saw. It was something during WrestleMania, and all I could think was, "What about the children?"
Did you see fucking the GCW show? Them doing the Human Centipede spot and Tom Six retweeting it.
I didn't know it.
This shit was fucking funny as fuck.
It's all right. We'll make the last house of the left spot.
I like Rob. I like Rob Black, like just posting is like, I guess this is cool. Like, just all of these like ass related spots. God help you if a needle goes into a dick.
Yeah, but fucking asshole to face fucking smashes. Absolutely a-okay.
Yeah.
It's a Vince McMahon storyline, it sounds like. All right.
But before we jump on to our next one.
Before we do, can we sell Vince McMahon free mustache ride shirts?
Oh my God.
I think he pays you on those mustache rides, but yeah, we can do some kind of mustache.
we need to do free mustache rides. That I already know there's at least a few people listening that will buy a Vince McMahon free mustache ride shirt.
I'll work on something. I have enough on my plate, but Kruger, thank you for coming on. I know you got some stuff to handle.
Yeah, I got an Evil Dead marathon with my girlfriend I'm about to go do. So plus I didn't see these two movies. So have a good show. Fucking hope Malum was awesome because I loved The Last Shift and I was very, very pissed the fuck off I couldn't get to go see it. But yeah, have fun, guys. Peace out.
She doesn't have any needles.
Yeah, keep it up.
Sounds like a good advice. All right. Later.
Yes. Protect your pee holes, gentlemen. You never know where Big F and Joe is hiding. All right. So, all right. Well, we got a non-horror review for you guys real quick before we get into our main event of Malum. I know we're a little bit late to the table on this one, so we won't spend a ton of time
it did just come out on digital yesterday, so it is still timely.
It did. Okay, cool. I didn't know it was on digital already. All right, so this movie is Inside from director Vasilis Katsopis. Guarantee that's wrong, but say it with conviction. And this follows Nemo, who is played by Willem Dafoe, a high-end art thief who is trapped in a New York penthouse after his heist doesn't go as planned. Locked inside with nothing but priceless works of art, he must use all his cunning and invention to survive. All right, so I'm just curious, Todd. I'll tag in a second, but did you like this one? Because this is a very polarizing movie.
I really liked it. Really?
Yeah,
I didn't know
a lot of people so far, since it's been out, I've talked to a few people, and it's leans more towards didn't like it. Really? I think a lot of people were expecting a more conventional thriller. But just at least my circle, a lot of people didn't like.
Well, I purposely avoided the trailers because I saw who was in it. I kind of saw the premise, so every time a one would come up, I'd avoid them. So I didn't know too much, and that's kind of the way I went into it. And so I don't know if that helped, like my, not knowing what to expect. So, but yeah, I really did like it. Where do you land?
I enjoyed it too.
I thought you would. I'd be kind of surprised if not.
Now, I'm a big Willem Dafoe guy, and this is another movie. This is not. I suppose you could put the thriller tag on it, but again, that might let some of you down. I really thought for a minute. I'm kind of glad it didn't go more conventional. There were certain things I was like, okay, it's probably. The owner of this facility is probably, doing certain things. And it didn't really go the conventional route. I mean, in a lot of ways, it's the very definition of an art house film. I know they created some of the art for the movie. So there's a lot of meaning in the art. And, this particular character it's really kind of, it's like disconnecting from humanity or fellow man in pursuit of whatever your obsession is, which in this case for Nemo was art. It's definitely one of those movies you need to sit, watch, think about. If you're texting on your phone or just distracted in some way, you're not going to get a whole lot out of it. I'm sure it's one a lot of people waited for streaming, but I'm kind of glad I saw it in a theater.
Yeah, me too.
Where you really kind of have to just sit, watch it, and absorb it. It's not an action film. It's not, Willem Dafoe fighting some threat to escape his predicament. It is just Willem Dafoe breaking down, what is real, what's not real. It's a quiet movie, and that's not going to appeal to everybody. I liked it. It's the hardest type of movie to recommend, though. Some of you are going to find it boring as shit. Some of you are going to find it fascinating. I can see it being on some best of lists this year, but it is absolutely not conventional. Now, I love Willem Dafoe, so that
I don't know.
happens.
I don't know who can watch that and not see the awesomeness in that performance, though.
That doesn't, yeah. Well, again, there's definitely a lot of people that didn't like it. I know more than a handful. If any of you are in the chat and didn't like it, please weigh in. But I did. I really loved it. It wouldn't have worked. No severed dong. Well, you can see some Willem Dafoe dong if you need.
And Dan will tell you how to see it.
You go watch The Antichrist, which we should do Willem Dafoe night. We should just do a watch along of like Willem Dafoe.
I'm not gonna. Cool.
I've wanted to do Antichrist for a while. We never seem to get to it as a commentary.
Because I've never watched it. Maybe we should wait and we can watch it together. First time on the big screen.
Okay, so Antichrist experience that right there. Yeah, we got to watch a lot of 3D stuff because.
Yeah, we got to get some of that in.
Yeah.
And I won't make you watch any Marvel.
Yeah, we probably only have one more. Like traditional, well, not one more show, but one more traditional Wednesday show before I'm heading out.
Then we're gonna be all over. We got some pre-tapes. So
yes, we're gonna go to some infamous locations in California. You never know when you get back to California, so I'm sure there's probably shit that like even you haven't seen.
I was gonna ask you, and I'll ask you off air, but I was looking into TV tapings too. If you want to go hit one of the studios and see a sitcom taped or something.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we can talk about that. There's a million things to do, but luckily we're not as scheduled this time, so we can just kind of go.
We only have one day planned.
Yes.
For sure. You know what I mean?
Yes. Wrestling, and then a lot of cool shit. So yeah, in a nutshell, Inside is a great drama, art house thriller. I had a ton of fun with it. Willem Dafoe is always so compelling. Even there's not a lot of bad Willem Dafoe movies, but you always have to check him out. He can make anything work, and this is really, really good. I give this one 4 stars out of 5. What say you, Todd?
I'm a 4.5. I really like this one.
Oh, awesome. I'm glad you did. So yeah, this is on digital now if you want to check it out, if you missed it in the theater.
Or if you can still catch it in the theater, go for it.
Yeah, I think it's kind of at that one showing period now. What's up, Indy? We missed you.
Yes, hello.
Always good to see you live. All right, so our main event of the evening is Malum. We'll see, hopefully saving the best for last. So Malum is a film from director Anthony DiBlasi, and it is a remake of the same director's film from 2014, Last Shift. And we'll get into that. But in this one, a rookie police officer willingly takes the last shift at a newly decommissioned police station in an attempt to uncover the mysterious connection between her father's death and a vicious cult. All right, so just a little bit of background first on these movies, which here we go. I prepared ahead. So Last Shift, I was a big fan of. I really loved this movie. At first, I didn't realize that this was a remake. I think I found out like not too long before I went out to see the movie. And my initial thoughts were, why? Because Last Shift is, in my opinion, I think a really good movie. I I absolutely loved it. And it's not even a decade old. Why remake it? And around that exact same time, just throwing out suggestions because I don't want to get ahead of I love this concept. There's another very similar movie. I'd say not quite as good as Last Shift, but also worth watching, called Let Us Pray with Pollyanna McIntosh, which also takes place in a police precinct. Different movie, different, it's not like a clone of it or anything, but yeah, I'm a big Assault on Precinct 13 fan. So yeah, you throw a horror movie in that kind of
there was that
situation.
Cop
Although
Shop.
more isolated in this case, obviously.
Cop Shop was another non-horror one we had that was kind of.
Cop Shop was one of the best non-horror movies of that year.
I agree. But that's also that Assault on Precinct 13 style and setup. I agree.
Yeah. So, all right. So this is not shot for shot or anything.
No.
Number one, this one's a much meaner movie that you get a lot more background on the cult. It expands the story quite a bit, and our new lead's relationship with her dad and other characters are kind of explored more, while still being very much an isolated film. There's different characters, at the beginning, much gorier, which is why I'm sad that Kruger missed it, because it's a lot heavier gore than the mainstream is going to be used to. It's not nonstop or anything, but when it hits pretty hard. I can safely say I think Kruger and Pugs are going to love this movie.
Yeah.
Now, which one do I prefer? It's close to the original in terms of the story again, but it does expand things. So I'm like, all right, a shot for shot would have been pretty pointless. Our leads, who I love them both. I love both leads in the films. I might slightly prefer Juliana Harkavy, who was the lead in the first one, but she had less to do than our lead in Malum did, Jessica Sula, who's fantastic. She's really, really good, but that might be the one thing for me, and I have no specific reasons. I think they're both great actresses that I would say was better with the original, but this improves a lot, actually. We get some demon effects at the end, which will make old school horror fans smile. Like, it's really good. And there's at least a few holy shit gore moments in this. So I was kind of surprised, because like I said, that was my question going into this, like, why? Why for a film that's not even that old?
He explained it at the beginning. I was always like, all right, I'm into this idea.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And this director has done some fantastic work. Clive Barker's Dread, which I thought he did a really good job at a time when Barker, things were pretty cold as far as Barker adaptations. He also did Casadega. We'll finally get to see his segment of Profane Exhibit from Unearthed Films, hopefully sometime this year. Extremity, Most Likely to Die. He's a good director, and yeah, I think he hit a home run. He's got a great eye for like visuals and mood, and this is just a really scary, gory film that it's the crowd pleaser of the night. Like, I can safely recommend this to just about anybody who likes horror movies. It's a shame because it seems to be a really limited release. And I'll tell you a sign of how good this is. I saw it at a theater at the Mall of Georgia, which is always crowded. So I'm sure this movie, because of the lack of advertising, isn't packed in a lot of locations, but it was fairly packed at my screening. Obnoxious groups of teens would not shut up. And I'll tell you, not even 5 minutes into that movie, they shut the fuck up, and I didn't hear a peep. There was no phones. I'm serious, because like I'm thinking like, oh my god, this is gonna really kill the mood for this one. I wish I was at my AMC on a weekday when none of these little bastards were out of school. They shut the fuck up and they watched the movie. So it's a great film. When
I would have just told her to shut the fuck up, but that's me.
I'm sure that it warmed my heart, because they're experiencing something that isn't a Blumhouse throwaway or some really just bland film like that they're probably used to seeing. This one, it's a shame, because I think with good advertising, there's no reason this couldn't be a big hit in the box office. And in 20 years, a young horror fan will be like, I remember seeing Malum in the theater the first time. Maybe
but
it will
you know
be
what?
for one of those little bastards in the theater.
That's actually truer to like seeing a horror film, though, how it used to be. We didn't get tons of advertisement. We had to be following what was coming out and this and that. I mean,
Yeah.
it is a truer experience, honestly. So them discovering
Sure.
it now is going to be similar to us discovering, pick any, non-traditional release from 1980, The Prowler or something.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. So hopefully we're doing our small part to spread the word on this movie. If it's playing near you, it's worth it, guys.
Ben says it was surprisingly packed at his showing. He also said, did we say if we liked it more than The Last Shift? I think, and I don't want to say just because it's a bigger budget, but you could see that, he got to do more. And I think, as he said, this is closer to his vision. I really like both, but I haven't revisited The Last Shift since I've seen Malum. So right now I'd have to say Malum.
Yeah, it's hard for me because I didn't revisit, but I've watched Last Shift at least a few times with different people since then, which again, don't rewatch a lot of movies because I watch a lot of new horror movies. And I don't know what the experience would be if you watched them for the first time back to back, if the similarities in the story would be a little bit too much. But overall, I think this improves on a lot. I'll just put it that way. I'm not prepared to say I like it better. Maybe I prefer the lead just a little bit in Last Shift, but the actress was great in this one, and she gets more to do as far as a character. It's a more well-developed character in this one.
Ben's recommending against watching Last Shift before Malum. He did it, and he wouldn't recommend it.
Okay. Well, watch both, because it'd be a shame not to. Because again, the ending's different on this, and they're not. It's like I said, it's not a funny game situation where, by all accounts, it's the same movie. As far as like the remake goes, reimagining kind of fits this one, I think. I also think John Malum in human form and monster form, I think, was really intimidating in this. So that's another thing I might have preferred. No, I mean, this is the type of horror movie we should be talking a lot more about, because it's been a slow year in a lot of ways. There's been a lot of turds, a lot of movies that got overhyped. This one is underhyped, so it might find most of its audience when it comes to streaming because of just the lack of theaters it has. But who knows? Spread the word of mouth. This one's just a crowd pleaser again. I can recommend this to probably any horror fan listening to this show.
It doesn't go too, it doesn't go too Dan. It doesn't go too Todd. It like hits everything right in the middle. This is probably, though we all haven't seen it, I'm pretty sure all four of us would give this a recommendation. And when everyone sees it, I'm sure they'll tell you.
And we are so glad. First time watcher. Yeah. If Malum's playing near you, go see it. It's a great theatrical experience. Yeah. It really is. So yeah, we appreciate all you newbies here. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Hit that thumbs up. That always helps grow the channel. Spread the word for us as well. And let's go ahead and rate this one, Todd. You know what? I'm giving it a 5.
I'm a 5 too. Yeah, it's not a hard one.
Yeah. I don't know if it does anything like new necessarily in terms of story, but it is just really kind of a perfect, just scary, creepy horror film that hits all the right notes. It's got stuff for the gore fans. It's got a little something for everybody. The effects are great. Let's just say the face, whatever you want to call it, towards the end, I thought that was awesome.
Yeah.
So yeah. This one wins the night, but Malum and Holy Shit, both a lot of fun. So there we go.
And Inside also, I enjoyed.
Oh yeah, and Inside. Although Inside's not a horror movie, but
no, I'm just throwing it out there though.
Yeah.
Of the ones we talked this week.
Yeah, so we evened it out there at the end, Todd. It was a rough start with the lake and leave. We haven't had one in a while because I was wondering where like it was like straight across the board, like everything sucked.
We've had that though back when we used to do less movies, like a 3.
Yeah.
I mean,
but not when we all hated it though. Like it's
since I think there's been all of us know when it was just me and you, it would happen once in a while, or even me and Pugs. But not with all 4.
Did Chris see this one, or by any chance, or I don't know if he's talked to him.
I doubt it.
Okay, well, check it out, guys. So some announcements. We may have a very special Patreon show to be announced. I think you all like it. I'm not sure if I'm supposed to say what it is now.
Now because we just haven't locked anything down.
All right, but it's something that you guys have liked in the past, and so patreon.com/fleshwound-features. It all starts at just $1 and you help the channel out. We will be live together, all of us, pretty much all of us, in Los Angeles, in Hollywood, California, all over the place. Might have some cool horror themed videos, some short live things on location.
Dan's just coming down. He needs help setting up his Only Dan's.
Yes, Only Dan's coming soon. Somebody took Only Dan's on Twitter. I thought it was kind of funny. But
do they have a blue check mark though?
I don't know. They don't have Dan though. I don't know how you do Only Dan's without Dan. But
they may have a better Dan.
There's not a better Dan out there, Todd. You know that. Come on. So we will also have a nunsploitation show coming up. We will have some more After Dark shows. We just did a trauma sex comedy show that dropped yesterday, so check that out. Lots of bonus stuff. Be sure to enable notifications because we will have some live videos, particularly while we're down there, and that's not really scheduled so much. That's just going to be, we're here, we're live. Maybe we can go live from Dark Delicacies. If we do that sorority babes thing.
We'll definitely be live from XPW again. This time better mic'd.
Better mic'd, yes. Better quality from California too, which once again, if you're in the how far is Pomona from LA? I should know my geography better, but
it's about a half hour or about 2 hours. Just depends what time of day.
Okay. Well, if you're in Pomona or the Los Angeles area, it's worth the trip. 16-man deathmatch tournament.
If they're in LA, they know how far of a drive it is. Now, if you're flying in for it, I'd say don't go to LAX, go to what is the one? The Ontario airport.
Okay.
It's right there. So
all right, there you go. So yes. XPW, the last show was amazing. This one,
we're hoping Dan gets a needle through his.
Not taking a needle slap, Todd.
Okay, then that's fine. Just the slap fight.
Yeah, not getting a slap fight. Hardcore Hillbilly is one of those 16 men entering the death match.
Well, maybe he'll wait till after and you'll get lucky. But then you have to worry about he might not make it and take his slap out on you.
Later, Indy. Good seeing you, man.
See, don't try to change the subject. Just wrap us up, Dan.
I will wrap us up. All right, guys. Be sure also, May 13th, Region Free is back, and I will be a part of that. So you'll have to subscribe to the new channel, but same Twitter channel, Region Free Podcast. Be sure to keep your eyes out for that. And on that note, good night.
Good evening.